so excited to be in this kitchen today. Hi everyone, I'm Rich. You may know me as Dough and Behold. I'm a Cotswold flour ambassador and I'm also a pizza lover. And today we're going to make one of my favourite recipes, which is a Focaccia di Marta. It's a recipe I developed for my local pizzeria Marta in Chelsea, which I also work at some nights. And it's a really delicious sort of pizza style sandwich that I think you're going to love. It comes from the classic Ligurian dish called Focaccia di Marta, which is world famous. And whilst this isn't exactly the same dough as that, this is our kind of homage to that recipe. So the key ingredients of this are, we use nduja, we've got some stracchino cheese, and then on top we add a drizzle of truffle honey. We've got some chili sea salt and a little bit of olive oil as well. So for this recipe we use 2 dough balls. They're 170 grams each. I don't know if you can see those. And these are really low hydration dough balls. And what we want to do is stretch them out as thin as we possibly can. Just put that one there for the time being. We want to stretch them out as thin as we possibly can. We're going to roll the first one out, and then we're going to top it with the nduja and stracchino, and then we'll roll the second one out, and we'll layer that on top, and then we're going to cook it in our uni pizza oven, and it's going to be great. So first things first, I like to get my pizza dough. I just put it in a bowl of semola flour, just to stop it sticking to the worktop. It really doesn't matter how much flour you put on top here, because we're going to dust it all off. And I just give it an initial shape to start with, just so it's a kind of round disc. And then I take my rolling pin and we just start to roll it out. And the important thing here is to roll it as thin as you possibly can. Don't worry about going super thin, that's what we want. And if your rolling pin starts to stick at times, just add a little bit of extra flour on top. So we keep doing that. So you want to roll it out into a nice circular shape, which I find sometimes is easier said than done. I often find myself rolling hexagons, rectangles. But the key thing to this is, if you don't roll out a perfect circle, don't worry about it, because at the very end we're going to trim around the edges and make it nice and neat. So here we go, pushing along, and with a 170 gram dough ball you can stretch this out to about 13 to 14 inches. So you can go quite large. How's that looking? That's getting a bit bigger. There we go. I think we can go a bit more on this. Just put another bit of flour. I really don't want, what's really annoying is when you're rolling it and it sticks to the pin and then you kind of crush it into itself. I'm so excited to be in this kitchen today, because those of you who follow me know that I work in a tiny corner of my kitchen at home. So this is a real treat. Right, there we go. I think we're pretty good here. So this is using Cotswold pizza flour. Perfect flour for this kind of recipe. We'll pick that up. Just give it a little flap from hand to hand. Let's go there. Put that there, like that. There we go. That is perfect. Okay, so we've rolled our first dough ball out. So I'm just going to move that in front, and we're just going to stretch our second dough ball, which is going to be the layer we put on top. Again, let's drench that in flour, and we can press that out. So again, you want to roll this to the same size, 13 to 14 inches. Doesn't matter if it's not perfectly round. we can sort that out in the end. So I've got my rolling pin here. The traditional method is the Italian mattarello, which I'm hoping my family will get me one for Christmas, but here's hoping. So yeah, if anyone wonders how I got into pizza, I bought my first, I'd always made pizza, and I never did a very good job in my home oven. And I think in 2017, I bought my first pizza oven, and the first pizza I made was by no means impressive at all, but it totally blew my mind in how great they were, and how much of an improvement it was on a home oven. Using a pizza oven that can get to like 400, 450 degrees. So the first pizza I made was mind-blowing, and it sparked a huge love of pizza in me that had been lying dormant for years. And I went down a rabbit hole, went on YouTube, went online, looked at every dough making video possible. Great thing about the internet is everything's there for you to learn, just like this will be. And I just learned about dough making, pizza making. I became friends with pizza makers online, and there's a wonderful baking pizza community, which I'm sure as Cotswold Flour users and watchers of this, you have your group of pizza friends. So yeah, it's just a wonderful thing to make. Love pizza. So we're getting nearly up to size here. See, this one isn't quite as circular. Don't worry if your dough has little holes in it. That's fine for your top layer. There we go, just give it one last roll. Right, so if I hold it up, you can see how thin that dough is. I don't know if you get a shot of it. It's pretty thin, it's pretty light. Shouldn't really do that because it'll tear, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so that's perfect. So I'm just going to place this to one side because we're going to layer this over the top. Okay, so we're ready to top the first pizza base that we rolled out. So the Focaccia di Marta, we use this Stracchino cheese. You can find it online or in most good Italian delis if you have one nearby. It's a really soft cheese. It's not particularly strong, and it looks like this. Have a little look at that. And what we're going to do is we're going to spoon it on, and when you're making this pizza, remember that you're going to trim it to about 12 inches. So when I place my ingredients, I place them sort of within a 12-inch radius. So I get my cheese. So this cheese is so delicious. It's very messy to put on. You're going to get it all over your fingers. And what it does, it will, when you cook it at high heat, it just melts into the sandwich. It's so gooey. It's so delicious. It's literally the best thing. Love it. If you're adventurous or you're not adventurous and you want to try other cheeses, anything will work with this really. That's the beauty. That's why I love this so much, because you can put so many different toppings in there. So we'll plop one in the middle, and then put that there. We'll put another one there, and that is the Stracchino phase. And now we're going to take our Nduja. You can buy Nduja in jars and spoon it on. I love the real traditional authentic stuff that comes as kind of like a sort of pate or a mush that you can pull apart. It's a mixture of pork, fat ingredients and Calabrian chilies. And when you cook this at high heat, it just melts into everything. The oil goes everywhere. Obviously colours your fingers as well, so I might have to wash my hands after this. But yeah, so we place the andouille in and around. Yeah. So it's not too hot. It's got a nice kick to it. And I think there we go. I think that's good for there. Next, we put a little drizzle of olive oil on here. Just do a little spiral like that. Love this, by the way. Got that for Christmas too. Right, so there we go. So now we've got your first layer arranged. We're now going to apply the second layer of dough. This is my favorite part. So we're holding it up like this and we just drape it over and cover it in a nice little blanket here. So you see how thin the dough is. You can see the ingredients just sort of peeking through. What we like to do is now you take a knife and you just make little score marks over the andouille and the stracchino. So this helps it disperse, and as it cooks it melts and sort of oozes out all over the top. So we just finished slicing a few extra slits here just so all the cheesy andouille-y goodness can melt out. And then what we do, we're going to trim around the edges here, but we just want to squish the dough around the edges just so when it cooks it doesn't sort of pop up at all. So you just need to force it down. You can use whatever you like. I like to use my fist, but you could use a wine bottle or anything, rolling pin. And then we take our pizza cutter and we gently trim around the edge of the dough. Super light. There we go. And then you just pick it up. Oh, look at that. Perfect circle. We don't need this anymore. We just chuck that away. And now, this is where I get really excited because this is like the best bit. And then, so once we've trimmed it, we've got a beautiful little circle here. We'll just put another drizzle of olive oil on top. And a little bit of sea salt. And then we are good to go. So while I've been doing this, I've been preheating my uni pizza oven. We're just going to slide this onto a peel now and cook it. So I get my pizza peel, sprinkle a tiny bit of semola on there, and you can just shift it under. There we go. There, look at that. Oh, this is going to be so good. Okay, so here we are, the moment of truth. Focaccia di Marta is ready to go into the uni pizza oven. I like to bake this around sort of 370 to 400 degrees C. It'll cook in like 1.5 to 2 minutes, so it's a really quick bake. But yeah, here we go. Let's launch. Okay, let's get this thing sliced up. So the best way to slice this, I like to slice it in a kind of noughts and crosses pattern. So we just go along like that. Listen to that crunch. And then you've got the most delicious segment like this. Super thin, full of flavour. I've obviously forgotten the key ingredient here. So before we serve it, we add the truffle honey. Pop that open. So this is like, it's already really tasty, but this truffle honey just drizzled on top takes it to the next level. You can put as much or as little on as you like. I like a fairly good drizzle. So this, you've got the sweet, you've got the savoury, you've got the heat, you've got the cool creaminess of the cheese, and just top off with a final bit of chili sea salt. you're good to go.